Hey crafters! I'm Lisa Fulmer and you are here Saturdays with Lisa, and today we're going to do some really fun projects using a new set of rubber stamps from our good friend Mark Montano. He has a new line of stamps, get the glare off of there for you, from Craffiti, and they're really cool, and I've got a couple of fun little techniques and we're going to do some cute little projects. Let's get started. So these are the new stamps from Mark. He's got several others. These are just two of the designs. So what I loved about the lion tamer in particular was that he's kind of looking sideways. He's got like this little sideways glance going on. So for some reason I just felt like he needed to be replicated in triplicate. These little guys are perfect for artist trading cards or for repeat designs. And then the big guy is great. I'm going to show you a project with the big guy. Except, you know what, I didn't have a block big enough for him, so I had to fake it. I'll show you that in a second. Here, let me show you the finished project. I kind of like it. It's a little bit of a manly card. And so what I'm doing is I'm working with 3 different colors of ink and just doing sort of a graduation. Super, super easy, super simple, and then mounting it together. So I was just going to show you the lining up part real quick. So I've got like a little ATC right here, and I've got my chalk inks, and I love these little cat eye color box chalk inks because you get this automatic gradation of colors, right? So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to work the purple angle. So I'm just going to line them up slightly off to the left. So now we've got the little kind of a cranberry color next, and I'm just going right on top. I don't mind that I'm not cleaning my stamps in between. And I also like the control. Don't you like the control of these little stamps for inking? Because then you can really kind of see what you're doing. I like that. And you just do that. So now I have to get up in here close. Hold on, I got to move this so that I can line it up. So I'm just putting him shoulder to shoulder, and I'm kind of using his chin as a guide, and I'm putting this one right smack in the center of the card. Laying it down very carefully. So I lined him up, and now let's take the next color, which is kind of a darker cranberry. Ink him up. Okay, so now I'm going to shoulder to shoulder, chin to chin, slightly off the page, pop him down. And what's really nice about these stamps is the shadowing. And you can see he's looking off to that direction over there. So he's kind of like looking at himself. Like, hey, who's that? Hey. Yeah, I like it too. And I really like how the shadowing merges together. And if you do it shoulder to shoulder with just a tiny little bit of space in between each shoulder, the feet will come out just right, toe to toe. And so you end up with this full shadow in the background of his legs. And it just looks really cool. I just can't imagine any other way to use the stamp except in triple. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you is a technique where I've used the heat embossing powder. We all know about heat embossing powder, but I did another shadow effect because this guy is just, I'm sorry, he can never be alone. He's always got to have a friend. And so this time I put the shadow on the opposite side, and I swear his eyes are moving. I think even when he's off to the right, he's looking at himself. It's the craziest thing. It's a great design. So what I did, what was really fun with this was that I'll show you how because of the heat embossing powder, you can actually remove the shadowing and make the stamp be smooth and fussy cut it like that. Pretty cute, huh? I recommend this stamp because it is really detailed, that it really does look nicer on a very smooth surface, smooth paper, and it looks a little choppier on the textured watercolor paper, but for the shadow, I was cool with that. So watercolor paper here. Now for the stencil, I want to tell you about this brand new stencil, and it is from my good friend Rebekah Meier. She's got a new line of stencils, Rebekah Meier, with Crafters Workshop, and they're all these really cool mandala. Have I missed any questions? Sorry. They're all these really cool mandala patterns. And she designed some really great ones. So I'm using one that, because this guy is a lion tamer, he reminds me, this stencil, all these stencils kind of remind me of a 3-ring circus. And so I thought, I don't know, I thought it was a nice match. So I'm just holding my stencil in place. So we're just going to do this, right? And I'm going to just go crazy, and I'm going to try to go fast because, you know, this is like watching grass grow. Okay, so once you have one half done, you could be persnickety and tape this down. I choose not to. I'm just going to move my fingers and do the other half. And I really like working with ink pads on stencils because it dries a little faster and it looks a little more distressed. And you can you have a little control, and I like the little pointy tips, right, of these cat eye ones because of the control. So I feel like that's kind of enough. I'm going to go around the outside edges a little bit so that when I trim it out, I have a little definition on the border. The big reveal, drum roll please, dum da da dum. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to use the giant lion tamer, and because I didn't have an acrylic block big enough, I'm using another rubber stamp that was large enough, and you can't really see him, but the lion tamer's on there. So I'm going to use my Versamark watermark stamp pad, and I'm going to ink him up. I'm going to put him in the foreground, off center. I'm going to line up his feet with the bottom, make him straight, and press. Okay, now we're going to quick like a bunny, sprinkle that with the gold embossing powder. What's cool about the heat embossing powder is that you can brush away the image area that you don't want, right? So you do that, and you very carefully, and you can get like a little skinny brush to get in there into his little crotch region, and in between the whip and his leg. Oh, that is so funny. And, you know, define his shoes a little bit more, his boots, because, you know, these boots were made for stamping. Get rid of the shadowing around his hand, and so on and so forth. You get the gist, right? And then once you clear all that away, you'll end up with just what you want. I'm not going to bother you with the heat stamping part, but that's how I got this effect. And then I cut him out with, it didn't take long to fussy cut him out. And then I just used some little foamy stamps underneath and to offset him, and there he is. Now, let me show you what I did using the Japanese screw punch. Oh my God, do you guys have Japanese screw punch? What's cool about that, that's how we're going to get this lovely shiny spot. You see the gold in the little dots that I put in the stenciling? So to use this, you want to be working on a little cutting mat so that you don't go through to China. And I'm just going to put that underneath my paper, and it's super, super easy. So I'm just going to pick some areas of the design, like maybe in the center of all these, and I'm going to basically go 3 times, and it has made a hole. Now you have to pluck the paper out from the tip, and I just do that with a straight pin. Then after you've got that situated and you've got all your holes punched out, then you can take some pretty bright craft foil and pop it underneath, and then you'll get that nice shiny gold to match the shiny gold of your lion tamer. So that is what I wanted to show you today. I wanted to show you the triplicate and the shadow, and say it with me now, all together, the Japanese screw punch. Well, I really hope you liked that project. It was really fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. And if you were not here live, you missed a chance to win a great prize. So join us next Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here in my webcast room, Saturdays with Lisa. Bye.